Welcome back, everybody, to Tales of Eternia. We are quickly getting close to the end of this game. In the last episode, we got the special crystal that we needed to make the Cranial Cannon lens. So we've returned here to Bariru's castle. It's pretty epic. Everybody's working hard. Both worlds working together as a team to make the most violent and destructive weapon of all time. So we're here to deliver the crystal for the lens that we picked up in the previous episode. Originally it was probably a pure crystal of one piece that was the container for Nereid that kept him prisoner, or it prisoner, I suppose I should say. But with it being shattered, now we're going to use some pieces of it against him. So in this episode, we're going to try one more time to do our fringe with the two cannon beams fringing together, and hopefully that'll destroy the barrier. The barrier around Shizel's castle. So let's head on up to the world in the center. That music, so epic. You know, this game has just really good music. The dungeons, almost every area in the game. Final dungeon, awesome music. Anything that has to do with Ifrid and the Van Eltia. So Garanos wanted to come up here to the observatory. So he's gonna maybe do some things or handle some things from here. So we're dropping him off right quick there. And then we're gonna line up for our captain. Keel says he needs to, or he wants to help Galanos with something. So this is the kind of part in every Tales game where the characters kind of split up and, you know, have their dialogue before the final fight. Everybody's got to kind of say their piece. Melody's going to help Keel. At the fringe cannon, we've got Roin of Infidia talking to Ayla of Celestia. So they have a moment, and I had to leave this scene in. Chat herself gets a special moment as well. She finds that there's a bunch of animal hair in the engine. Oh no, could it be? No, it can't be. Because Quickie is with Melody, right? So she's got to clean her beautiful engine. Which is very delicate. Pets should not be allowed. Oh. It cannot be. More animal hairs. She's afraid to look. I would be too. I actually kind of feel sorry for Chat. But Quickie just wants to be friends. Chat does not. It's like, Melody's outside. Just get out of here, please. Quickie just wants to have fun. Probably would have been a blast to have been Quickie as a voice actress. She obviously had fun with this role. And that is Quickie's victory. I do kind of feel sorry for Chat, though. Yeah, I just have to leave that one in. There's too few Quickie and Chat interaction scenes in the game. There needs to be more. So Keel is punching some numbers, just like the mathematician genius he is. And according to him and all his calculations, the grand fall is going to happen in 3 days or less. Although they don't say days, they have their own kind of measure of time. And it seems to be inevitable. We have kind of a nice scene here with Melody and Keel. He kind of wishes the grand fall and near raid and everything. He wishes it was just a dream and not real. They wouldn't have to deal with all this. But Melody says, if it was all a dream, then I never would have met you, Keel, and, your friends. So she's happy that it's not a dream, that it's all reality, because she's glad to have met them. Keel is quite impressed by Melody's strength. She's like, what? Are you complimenting me? And he's like, is that strange? She says, yep, because usually Keel's always upset about something or angry about something. So he's acting a little strange today. Am I really always seeming to be that angry? But hey, she's glad that he's acting different, and she's glad that he complimented her. Yeah, another thing, the characters in this game are just great. As far as Tails characters go, this game just has an excellent cast. I have a tough time deciding, which is the better cast, this or Tales of Destiny, with Stan and Ruti, Philia, Woodrow, Chelsea, Mary, Johnny. They're an excellent cast of Tails characters, but this cast is also very good. I love it. That's how Farah shows her emotions, just punch him.
黙ってるなんて水臭いんだから。
あら、お前ってちっとも変わらねえのな。
Rid says, "You never change, do you?"
そう？リッドのおかげだよ。
It's thanks to Rid, because of the way she is today.
は？
のんきに笑ったり、思いっきり怒ったり、たまに泣いたり。
Through the tough times and the times of crying, times of happiness. It never mattered. Rid was always the same. Rid. And was always keeping an eye on her. Rid says, to protect the people that's the most important to him. That was something that Race said. Remember Race's last words to Rid? Protect the important people. And that's why he's here. And she wants to protect Rid also.
私一人じゃ無理でもみんないる。仲間がいればきっと怖いものなんてないよね。
ああ、そうだな。なんかいけそうな気してきたぜ。
でしょ？
でしょ？いけるいける。Farah's awesome catchphrase, as always. Fog, of course, is going to have his great moment too here. Oh, never mind. Fog doesn't get anything. It's all by himself. He just laughs. Poor guy. And even the Kramal spirits have their conversation. Seems like almost all Tales games this kind of conversation also takes place, where they're contemplating humanity and what will happen to them if the humans also fail. Ifrit said something there he probably shouldn't have said. Celsius backs away. And he's trying to save face by saying, "Hey, Gnome, don't be sleeping there on the job." Gnome's wondering why it's his fault. So Ifrit kind of has a thing for Celsius, but they gotta stay apart since they're opposites. Once again, reference to Eternia there. I wonder, I'm still curious how they had to change the dialogue for the English version. All right, so everybody had their kind of special moment. Kind of the final build-up to the final showdown. And now we're gonna blast our way. Hopefully it'll work this time. Blast our way into the shield here. some crazy looking cannon. Man. This is our super beam of death. Of course, we must salute the Miyakis. So it's kind of cool that they had the Inferians and Celestians all working together to make this possible. The ultimate fringe between two worlds. Looks like we did it, but of course there's something inside the dark sphere, which would be Shizel's castle. The final dungeon in Tales of Eternia. And Farah's definitely right. She says it has a pretty strange shape. That's because every dungeon in Final Dungeon and like Final Fantasy and Tales and like almost every RPG is this weird, bizarre place. Ethereal-like place. Alright, let's head in. Now, I'm not going to do the final dungeon, but there is some stuff we need to grab in here real quick. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the bonus content, and then complete the final dungeon and finish the game. But there's a couple of things we need to grab here real quick first. And yeah, that music is epic. Perfect final boss music, or final dungeon music, I should say. So there's a couple of things we need to quickly grab here in the final dungeon so that we can do some of the extra content. Of course, it's possible, you know, if you're playing this game, just to finish the game right here in the final dungeon, go for the final boss, complete all the puzzles. But there's actually just a couple of things we need to grab that we can only find here, and then we're going to exit. So as always, it kind of has this bizarre, otherworldly look to the final dungeons. Don't know why it has to be that way, but hey, I guess that's what gives it its mysterious, creepy vibe. So I'm just going to briefly run through this section, open up the shortcut door, and then show you all the 2 key items that we need to grab. Oh, there was a fake there. And just like that, the fake is gone. So by coming backwards through this odd door, we kind of made a shortcut. So we have a shortcut to the second part of the dungeon, which I will do a little bit later, and show all the puzzle solutions. But for now, let's quickly go and grab our 2 important items here. So this elevator has two choices, up and down. And I chose down to open the shortcut to start with, but if you choose up, there's a little section up here. A bunch of goodies. I'm gonna go ahead and keep spamming holy bottles as I've been doing, just to get through the dungeons a little bit quicker. But this is one of the key items we need, Yami no Tama. The black egg, I guess is how that's supposed to be translated. The dark egg. Now this lift has two options too, and a lot of people miss this. You have to step back onto the lift and choose down, because you usually come down on it anyway. And so by stepping back on it and choosing down, there's this lower section we can go to. And I highly recommend coming here and grabbing this right quick. Here in the Gates of Time. We have a mysterious figure that appears. It's kind of funny, Rid's all getting ticked off, and Keel's like, dude, this is like one of the greater elementals, so everybody bows. Except for Rid, of course. So this is Secundos, if you straight up translate the katakana. Usually he's referred to as Secundos, but this is actually aka Daos. So, in order to hide his identity, of course, but this is Daos from Tales of Fantasia, the final quote-unquote villain, and of course he has the power of time and time travel. If you ever played Fantasia, he's the villain that you have to chase across time because he keeps changing time periods. But he's going to freely join us, so without a fight. So he'll just freely enter the Cramo cage, and the reason to pick him up now is so that we can level him up and get the skills and the spells that are, the combination skills that he provides with the other Cramo spirits. And yeah, you can fight him as any other, Cramo has challenged us, but he's one that you can choose when you would like to challenge him. And he's sort of the game's secret ultimate boss battle, which of course we will do later, but we just want to pick him up now so that he can start leveling up. And we can get all the spell combinations that go along with him, of which there are quite a few. Let's go ahead and fringe with him real quick. So he's got distortion, stagnation, delay, drain guard, and mental up. Quite a few nice abilities. For now, we'll go ahead and have Raise Dead. And Distortion, one of my favorite spells in the game. It's just such a cool looking spell. It's really not it's honestly not a useful spell. Distortion is, in a way, kind of lame because it only hits one enemy. And it does a lot of damage to one enemy, but you can't really do much. You can't combo the enemy while he's being hurt. You can't do anything extra. You just have to wait till Distortion spell completes. But it's pretty epic to see. Okay, so I exited Shizel's castle. And we're in the Celestian waters here. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly pick up Shadow. So this is totally optional. Go ahead and have Fog in the party for a little while here in place of Farah. Fog is pretty good in this dungeon and in the boss fight in general. But yeah, sadly, he's only got a few skills. I'll try to show off his Elemental Master, which is one of the most epic versions of Elemental Master ever. But yeah, if you're not sure where this place is, you can just rewind the video and check the location. You know, the GPS coordinates. But it's underwater, totally optional, and this is where Shadow hides out. So we've got Rem, the element of light, and this will be the element of darkness. And once again, good to get these as soon as possible so that they can level up and you can get their respective skills and combinations. Could probably get this one earlier, but you know, as soon as you get the submarines, you can actually come in here. But it's better to maybe level up a little bit, because Shadow can be pretty tough. This is another one of those interesting dungeons where you can actually see the enemies. And the first few sections, there's no random encounters at all. It's just the enemies you can actually see slowly trying to come at you. Maybe Namco's first attempt to make an RPG with visible enemies instead of the usual random encounters. Oh, these enemies have a lot of spells. Well, there was the start of Elemental Master, but we finished the enemies off too quick. I'll try to show it off. There we go. Pure beam of death fills the whole screen. Just such an awesome version of Elemental Master. Actually, it's the original. I'm pretty sure this is the first appearance of Elemental Master in the Tales series. I know that Raven gets a version of it in Tales of Vesperia, but the version here is just way better. Raven's version is pretty weak compared to Fog and his giant cannon. Yeah, it's just way too powerful. And he pretty much uses all elements there. But yeah, totally optional to get Shadow, but I highly recommend it because some pretty nice spells that you're missing out on if you don't get him otherwise. So there are these glowing Reaper looking guys that we have to kill, and the more of them we kill, the darker it becomes. And the darker it becomes, the more opportunity we have to see Shadow.
断すんなよ。
Ominous message there. It's getting darker. It's getting darker. I just wanted to show the one real quick. I'll probably skip the rest of the fights. But there's 4 of them, 2 on each side, and then we have to take out. And then Shadow will make an appearance. Getting darker. Oh, hey, that guy was hiding a lens underneath his creepy cloak. Alrighty, last one. Also, having Rem for this fight is really good, so it's better to actually pick up Rem first. That gives you all the light spells, which Shadow, of course, is weak to any light-related skills. Can feel some wind. Keel there is checking out the edge. Wondering how deep it is. Can't even see the bottom. He thinks it's 3,000 range, which is their made-up measurement system, I suppose. Now, a lot of people, I don't know, have some weird strategies for fighting Shadow, like saying avoiding the dolls that come with him in the fight, but that's not a good idea. I recommend with Rid to actually, target the dolls and try to take them out. Even though you probably won't, it'll still keep them occupied for the entire fight, while the rest of your characters can just destroy Shadow. Because the dolls really wreak havoc on the spellcasters and just interrupt constantly. And it's pointless for Rid to actually fight Shadow since he's got a sort of anti-melee ability where he pushes everybody away from him constantly. So if you're using Rid in this fight, it's really pointless to fight with Shadow. As you can see, he just spins his sword there. So I'm gonna occupy the dolls here, which are, they have a lot of HP, and you probably won't kill them. But it makes the fight way easier if you just keep these dolls in check. And that way the characters only have to deal with Shadow himself. And they can use the spells, which are more effective anyway, like Ray and any holy spells. Because it's pretty hard to melee Shadow. So you might as well melee the dolls instead and keep them on the ground so that they don't interrupt the spellcasters. So once again, I find the strategy that people say just ignoring, the 2 ads, the dolls, to be a bad idea. You should not ignore them. As you can see, they'll gang up on the spellcasters. They killed Medity there, and they'll prevent the spellcasters from doing much of anything. And Rid's better off fighting them than he is fighting Shadow himself. And that's why this fight's pretty good for Fog. Oh yeah, we got some distortion going, because Fog is kind of ranged, attacking on the ground with his gun. So you want to stay away from Shadow. And just like that, easy peasy, Mikan squeezy. Yeah, that fight is a whole lot easier if you keep the dolls with him occupied. You notice I didn't, kill them in the end, but keeping them occupied made the fight a whole lot easier, preventing them from stunning your spellcasters and Fog as well. Sadly, Fog doesn't even get to be in this conversation. Poor guy. He did all this work, and he doesn't get to be here in the conversation. No respect, no respect, no credit. Alrighty, so now we got another Kramel that we can fringe here. Getting some new skills like Dark Force. But I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, and in the next episode, we're going to do a couple more of the extra bonus dungeons and, the extra side content that you can do in this game, which is definitely worth doing, and it's actually a lot of fun. So now that we've got the two key items that we needed from Shizel's castle. So thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.